قال هذا رحمة من ربي فإذا جاء وعد ربي جعله دكا وكان وعد ربي حقا.
The wall is gone, but the Quran still speaks. A Dawah reflection on Surah Al-Kahf 1898, unveiling the layers of mercy, the fall of the wall, and the rise of the Quran. Have you ever read a verse from the Quran, and suddenly it doesn't feel like it's talking about ancient history? It feels like it's talking about right now. That's the Quran, not just a book, but a living miracle. It speaks to the past, it speaks to the future, and somehow it speaks directly to you. Yes, you. You see, one verse opened my eyes like never before.
This is a mercy from my Lord. But when the promise of my Lord comes, He will make it level, and the promise of my Lord is always true.
Surah Al-Kahf 1898. Dhul-Qarnayn says this while looking at the wall he built, a real wall of iron, fire and strength. It was a mercy, but only temporary. But when he said,
This is a mercy from my Lord,
he wasn't just talking about the wall. He was talking about you, the people protected by it, the hearts guided by it, every soul Allah still wishes to save. This verse wasn't revealed for just one moment in time. It carries many meanings, eras, hearts, and destinies. Let's uncover them. God and Magog from three lenses. Who actually gave them this name? Perhaps it wasn't a prophet or a king. Maybe it was terrified civilians watching the horizon as wild horsemen from the steppes charged forward, feet twisted in reach, destroying everything in their path. To the helpless, they weren't just warriors. They were monsters, an army from hell. So they called them yajujmajuj, Gog and Magog. But two rulers and generals, they were a storm to contain, powerful, strategic, unstoppable. To soldiers on the battlefields, they were fearless riders, unchained by rules, blazing like fire. One group, three lances. To the people, a horror unleashed. To the kings, a storm to contain. To the soldiers, a force to be feared or respect. But Allah revealed the final truth. They were Yajuj and Majuj, not by race or bloodline, but because they reject divine guidance and became a fitna on us. Anyone who chooses rebellion, violence, and chaos over truth becomes part of Yajuj and Majuj. They curse themselves by turning away from mercy and became punishment to others and to themselves. They lash out at strangers, loved ones, even their own souls. Their rebellion becomes their suffering, and it spreads like fire, until they become a wave of destruction, without guidance, without mercy, without truth. One verse, 12 layers of meaning. Surah Al-Kahf 1898 is like a divine mirror. It reflects truths about history and times, societies, and hearts. This one verse in Surah Al-Kahf 98 has 12 powerful meanings, some you have never heard before. Meaning 1, the physical wall. Dhul-Qarnayn iron barrier, a mercy of protection.
This is a mercy from my Lord.
The wall was real, forged by human hands under divine guidance, a strategic act of protection for the innocent and the weak.
But when the promise of my Lord comes,
His protection will last only until Allah completes a greater mercy.
He will make it level.
When the final revelation is complete, the iron wall's vision ends. The physical barrier is replaced by the wall of guidance, the Quran itself.
And the promise of my Lord is always true.
What was once iron becomes like. The mercy remains, but its form changes. Meaning 2. The final revelation.
This is a mercy from my Lord.
The coming of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the universal mercy to all beings. The Quran reaches even those once cut off, including the jinn and distant nations.
But when the promise of my Lord comes,
The final revelation is completed. The iron wall is no longer needed. The Sharia becomes the new wall, stronger than iron.
and the promise of my Lord is always true.
It is now the age of Da'wah. But if we abandon this wall, new wave of Yajud and Majid will rise. Meaning 3. The end time signs. When the wall falls, Dajjal, Yajud and Majud, and the return of Isa alayhi salam.
This is a mercy from my Lord.
The return of Isa alayhi salam is a divine mercy in the final hour, sent to restore trust before the end.
But when the promise of my Lord comes,
Dajjal will emerge. The greatest wave of Ya'juj and Ma'juj will surge forth across the earth. Their destruction under Isa alayhi salam marks the collapse of worldly arrogance, but not the end of all corruption.
He will make it level.
Dajjal and Ya'juj and Ma'juj will be destroyed. The barrier of falsehood and deception will be crushed. Yet smaller wave of rebellion will continue until the trumpet is blown.
And the promise of my Lord is always true.
The Khalifa will be restored. Justice will return to us until the final call gathers all souls. Meaning 4. The personal wall. Every soul has its appointed hour.
This is a mercy from my Lord.
Your lifespan and opportunities are Allah's mercy, a wall of time protecting you to grow.
But when the promise of my Lord comes,
This is your personal Qiyamah. No wall can hold it back.
He will make it level.
The wall of worldly life collapses. Wealth, health, power, none can delay the appointed hour.
And the promise of my Lord is always true.
Death is certain. Your payment will come exactly on time. Meaning 5. The moral collapse. Every time we abandon guidance, the wall collapses.
This is a mercy from my Lord.
Quran and Sunnah form a protective moral wall for individuals and societies.
But when the promise of my Lord comes,
Whenever divine guidance is ignored,
He will make it level.
the wall collapses. Corruption and chaos flood in.
And the promise of my Lord is always true.
Moral collapse always leads to real consequences. Repent or to be swept away. We will continue in part 2, inshallah.